When, in the mid-1990s, I lost my health, I fell into the clutches of the welfare system, and as a rapid consequence of that, I lost my home. A nice little place in Islington, which is a part of North London. Homeless, and in some desperation, I ended up in a place called Hackney, which was shortly to be voted the worst borough in the United Kingdom. Where I surfaced was Clapton Pond, which was where a young Harold Pinter had been for Sunday walks with his English teacher at school. Very nice. But that was then. When I arrived, I came to a murder mile. The local council used to protest that sobriquet was just an invention of the local media. Who knows, but it didn't take much imagination. Murders would only be reported in the local newspapers if there was a gun involved. Just up the road was the Regency nightclub, where all the guns and drugs were exchanged. The dive I lived in had wet rot, mice, rats, cockroaches, and it was rumoured beneath the floorboards several hundredweight of impacted, decaying sewage. No wonder the place smelt like a corpse. Just next to me was Grandma's Takeaway. Cars would ram the footpath to get their meals at 3 in the morning, and the rap would be blaring so hard from their open tops or open windows that if you touched the glass of your bedroom window, you could feel it throbbing with the vibration. It was a desperate time. I used to languish, really, in a state of torpor, you might say, or almost a comatose state, on a pull-out camp bed. And I would wake up for maybe an hour a day. The rest of the time was spent in a stupor, wishing that I were not awake, sinking into semi-consciousness, wishing that I were not alive. But there was a rumour about a man who ran a poetry group, and he had a tremendous flair, it was said, for getting people to write poetry themselves. And so, in my 1 hour per day, I used to rise from the socky floor and make my way down to where he was. And that was the beginning of what you might charitably call my work as a poet. You see, amongst many other things, I don't think that I've ever written poetry. A delightful editor once suggested that I should get more discipline into my work by writing sonnets, villanelles. She spared me haiku. Well, I do know what a sonnet is. In fact, on a very good day, I can just about remember the differences between different types of sonnet. But you see, that's not really for me. I tend to produce more what I think you'd call monologues. You would have to flatter yourself a great deal to call them streams of consciousness, but if you like, they're rambling cogitations, and I think that that is really what I'm most comfortable with.